Hey everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Harshita, and we'll be continuing with the CSS interview questions now. And in today's video, I'll be discussing two questions. First is what is CSS, and another one would be different types of CSS. Okay, so ये questions बहुत ही basic हैं, बहुत ही मतलब normally पूछे जाते हैं interviews के अंदर कि what are the different types of CSS, what exactly is CSS. Okay, so let's start with this. Like if someone in interview will ask me that what exactly is CSS, then what will I answer is that CSS stands for cascading style sheet. Okay, it stands for cascading style sorry style sheets. Okay, over here we are having two words. First word stands for cascading, which basically talks about the ruling that we have. Like in CSS we have something which is known as rules. Style sheet is just that whenever you want to make any visual changes and effects inside any HTML element, that is basically your styling. Okay, any visual changes. Okay, so for example, so in overall, if I will combine everything and if I will say what exactly is CSS, so CSS stands for cascading style sheet. It basically allows you to maybe put any visual changes inside any kind of HTML elements. You can put any visual changes, like you can modify its position, you can modify its font family, font size, font colors, its background colors, and any those kind of thing. You can provide animation to any element, you can provide some transitions, transformations, you can make any web application responsive. So all these kind of features are provided by the CSS. Other than this, so for one single element you can provide multiple different ways of styling. Okay, so like if I'm having one single element, so for one single element there is a possibility that I will be providing three different ways of styling. Okay, so now the question comes that which styling will be applied to this specific element. So that styling will be applied based on the cascading rules of CSS. Okay, that is why we call it cascading style sheets. So in overall, CSS basically helps you to design your web elements in different ways, like position, font, color, background color, animation, responsive, and all the styling, if you are having multiple ways of styling applied on a single element, then its final styling will be decided based on the cascading rules. Okay, so that's it about this answer. Like maybe I can write it in few words, like any HTML element will be styled using will be styled using CSS properties, and if multiple styles are applied, then its priority will be decided by the cascading rules, Okay, so this is the meaning of the entire what CSS stands for. Okay, so that's it for this question. We can jump on for the next question that we have, which is what are the different types of CSS we have. Okay, so we have three different type of CSS mainly. First one is your inline CSS. Next one stands for your internal CSS, and third one is known as your external CSS. Okay, so if someone will ask me in my interview, like Harshita, what are the different types of CSS that we have, so I would say ki there are three different ways of writing styles for any element. Those three different ways are inline, internal, and external. Okay, inline styling would be the one when you want to apply styling to any element directly inside the element. Okay, directly inside element. Okay, when you want to apply styling directly inside the element, then that styling will be known as your inline styling. This is the first point, which means if I'm having anchor tag written over here, I would be saying style attribute. By using style attribute, you can provide styling over here, some text, and then closing anchor tag like this. Okay, this styling is having the highest priority, so you have to say highest priority. Okay, so this is the entire definition of inline styling. First is, it is the one which will be applied directly on the inside the element, HTML element that you're having. Next point would be, this styling is having the highest priority among all these three different types. Okay, then comes is your internal styling. Internal styling is the one which basically gets applied or which gets added inside the HTML file only, but it will be added inside the head tag. Okay, it will be added inside head tag. Okay, not directly inside the HTML element, so it will be basically, I would say that it gets added inside the style tag. Rather than any style attribute, it gets added to the style tag. So like with proper coding structure and everything, go and please check out the video. Because like up into when you are answering, you are not specifically all the time writing the code, but you should be having this saved inside your memory so that you can talk about it very confidently. Okay, so like internal styling is the one which gets directly applied inside the head tag. Okay, and it will be wrapped inside the style tag. We won't be using any attribute this time, we'll be using style tag. Okay, this is having medium priority, it is not having the highest and least priority. Okay, then comes is your external CSS. External CSS is the one in which we create a separate CSS file. Okay, this is the one, like, yeah, in which we create a separate CSS file. Okay, we create a separate CSS file. It is having the least priority. It is having the least priority. Okay, when you are creating a separate CSS file, you have to make sure you are creating a file with .css extension. Okay, if you are creating a separate CSS file, you have to make sure that this CSS file is linked with the HTML file. So we need to use a link tag with relation equals to style sheet, and then href we pass over here with the CSS file URL over here, path basically. Okay, like this, and then we add this link tag to connect the CSS file with our HTML file. Okay, next, one more point is the which styling is the one which is the most preferred way of writing, which is this one. Okay, most preferred. Okay, this is least preferred. Least. So this point is also very important, that this one is least preferred and this one is most preferred. Okay, so we have to remember this point also. So if I revise all these things, both these questions once again, then what exactly is CSS? So CSS stands for cascading style sheet, which basically allows us to style any HTML element in different ways. Like we can change its background color, we can change its font family, we can change its color, we can change its position, we can provide some animations to it, we can do some transformations, we can make the application responsive, and multiple other things. Okay, but it also allows us to apply different type of styling at a one single element. So when we have to decide like which styling will be finally get applied to that element, that thing gets decided by the cascading rules of style sheet, cascading rules of CSS. Okay, so this is the answer of what is CSS. Then comes is what are the different types of CSS. So for this, there are three different types of CSS: inline, internal, and external. Inline is the one which gets directly applied inside the element, and we apply the styling by using style attribute. Then this styling is the one which is having the highest priority. Okay, but it is a least preferred way of writing CSS. Then comes the second one, which is internal CSS. This gets added inside our head tag. Okay, inside the style tag. Okay, we'll be having one style tag, opening tag, closing tag, and the entire code would be written inside the style tag. Okay, then comes next would be your external CSS. External CSS is basically is the one, like, let me just close it once. Okay, not able to. Yeah. So external CSS is the one in which we basically create a separate CSS file. Okay. Now this CSS file have to make sure that it is having .css extension. This CSS file now needs to be get connected to the HTML file by using the link tag. This is the most preferred way of writing CSS, but it is having the least priority. Okay. That's it about these two answers. Thank you so much for watching and keep learning. Have a good day.